I'm a registered dietitian, certified intuitive eating counselor, and certified personal trainer. And I don't give a fuck what happens with your body.
That doesn't make sense.
Hey, welcome or welcome back. My name is Nadia. Today we're going to look at some fat acceptance from an activist attempting to convince people that they never need to lose weight. I added a mini debunk and a logical fallacy and a couple other things to this one, so let's get right into it.
Fat plays a substantial role in causing disease. We're gonna myth bust this together.
Somebody asked her the age-old question, what about those of us that have to lose weight for our health?
My name's Sam. I'm a registered dietitian, certified intuitive eating counselor, and certified personal trainer. And I often see comments like this or get questions like this all the time. But what if I need to lose weight for my health?
Not to spoil the plot, but this person is not going to get a legitimate answer to their question here. But because she has all of these credentials and she's a good persuasive speaker, a lot of people don't even realize that they never got their question answered by her.
Well, first of all, I'm here to tell you that weight does not equate to health. If this were true, then everybody that resided in a smaller body would have a perfect clean bill of health, would never have a medical disease or condition, and everybody that resides in a larger body would have every medical disease and condition.
We can't all be certified intuitive eating counselors, but how dumb does she think we are? This little mini lesson is kind of insulting. Weight does not equal health. Wow, profound.
When we look at the research with body size and disease, it is true that many diseases are found more commonly in people that reside in larger bodies. That, however, does not mean that the size of the body caused the disease. Much of the evidence on this topic is based on epidemiologic research, and we know that this type of research shows association, not causation.
This day one statistics lesson is not the gotcha that fat acceptance seems to think it is. This response doesn't serve to prove anything. What it does is cast doubt and skepticism. And when it's used this way, we call it weaponized doubt. Strategically casting doubt can distort reality, obscure truth, and manipulate perception. This is something that the tobacco industry knows all too well.
So if we come back to this idea of fat causing disease, there are many different confounders that better explain the increased disease incidence in people who reside in larger bodies.
When we started piling up evidence to show that cigarettes caused cancer, this is the exact same thing the tobacco industry did. Well, how do you know it's our product causing the cancer when it could be X, Y, or Z? After all, correlation is not causation. They too attempted to discredit legitimate research findings by weaponizing doubt and just confusing people essentially. So much so that they explicitly talked about this in a memo that was exposed from a tobacco executive from the 90s. It said, doubt is our product, since it is the best means of competing with the body of fact that exists in the minds of the general public.
Let's take male pattern baldness. We know through research that men that are bald have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, we don't look at that and say, baldness causes cardiovascular disease. When we look at the research further, we see that bald men have higher levels of testosterone. Testosterone is the confounder that explains the relationship between the male pattern baldness and CVD.
We should be able to assume that all of this information she's giving us supports her conclusion that obesity doesn't cause health issues. But to quote Star Trek here, these facts are not coordinated.
Non sequitur, your facts are uncoordinated.
Take the statement, you know my car is fast because it's blue. That doesn't make sense. It's a non sequitur fallacy.
Holy non sequiturs!
The term non sequitur translates to, it does not follow. Take our example. It does not make sense that I would conclude my car is fast because my car is blue. This fallacy often creates a comedic effect.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time. That doesn't make sense.
Not even trying to be mean, but this is why a lot of fat acceptance activism is so funny. It's because they're making ridiculously disjointed statements. Statements like, I'm obese because I starve myself. That is illogical to the point that it's absurd, and absurdity is amusing. But when the facts actually appear to be more coordinated, this fallacy can be an effective way to confuse people. Take this comment I found where someone asks, why isn't weight a determining factor of health if hydration, sleep, etc. is? The answer she got was, because you can be healthy or unhealthy at any size. That's a true statement that in no way supports the conclusion that weight is an irrelevant factor in our health, but it looks like an answer to a lot of people. This can be a sneaky one.
We have research that tells us that across every type of body composition, those who are unfit have a much higher death rate than those who are fit, regardless of the size of their body.
Why didn't she link us any of this research? She's telling us fitness is more important for our health than our body size, basically. But multiple people in the comments asked her to define fitness, and she either didn't reply or she said, the studies look at a bunch of different factors: heart, I like to look at engaging in consistent movement that brings you joy. I'm sorry, what? If the studies are telling us that this factor alone affects our mortality rate, why wouldn't she clarify how fitness was defined or measured in the research? Why do we care what her personal definition is?
We know that dieting is the #1 predictor of weight gain. And why do people go on diets? To lose weight. We also know that 2/3 of dieters will gain back more weight than they originally lose on a diet. So when we're looking at these yo-yo dieters, those who lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, they have a much higher risk of disease than those who stay in the same weight regardless of the size of their body.
Consider this a little mini debunk, because I've heard this fact dropped over and over by fat acceptance, and they say it like it's some kind of unanimous scientific consensus. It's not. I did the bare minimum of digging around on this topic, and what I found was multiple sources saying that weight cycling is actually most harmful for normal weight people. To quote even just one of the studies, it said, in fact, the risks from weight gain were larger than those from weight cycling in persons with overweight or obesity. Indeed, an important and emerging finding in the literature is that weight cycling may not be as adverse for health as sustained obesity. It's funny how science becomes so black and white when they want to use it to support their dogma, but when the science challenges their dogma, all of a sudden it's believe nothing, question everything.
So do we need to lose weight for our health, or can we start to look at this differently? Comment questions below.
The way she ends this here is a really good indicator that she's done nothing other than cast doubt. So do we need to lose weight for our health is just another question. One she clearly doesn't have the answer to, but she's made it seem like she's solved some worldwide problem here. So we have people in the comments section saying stuff like, louder for the doctors in the back. Can we play this on a loop in all public spaces for a month? So needs to be heard.
You're never going to hear me promoting intentional weight loss as a registered dietitian. I am very strongly set in my ways about this, and for good reason.
To be so fully immersed in your beliefs that you won't entertain anything that opposes them is not actually something to brag about.
There are so many things that you can do to genuinely improve your health uncoupled from intentionally shrinking your body.
This is like somebody saying, did you know you can do so many other things to improve your health that don't involve quitting smoking? Yes, true, but that does not explain why I shouldn't also quit if I want to improve my health.
Anybody that is focusing on weight loss or promoting healthy weight loss is saying that a smaller body is a better body. That is false. We know this to be untrue.
Even when people share their personal experiences with weight loss positively impacting their health and wellness, fat acceptance will just deny that person's experience. Like this person who said, I spend a lot of time on the floor with little ones. It's much easier for me to get my 150-pound body off the floor than my 200-pound body. Sounds pretty reasonable, right? Wrong. Apparently, it's fat-phobic, according to multiple people who replied to her. And in the irony of all ironies, It was suggested that maybe she just needed to go to the gym because she could be just as strong at 200 pounds as she was at 150.
This is a safe space for you, no matter what your body looks like, because you're never going to hear me talking about intentional weight loss. If your body changes because you are starting to work on some of the things I gave as previous examples, I'm not going to celebrate it. I'm not going to shame you. Truly, I don't give a fuck what happens with your body.
This does not feel like a safe space, and she said the quiet part out loud here. She doesn't care what happens to our bodies as a result of taking her advice. She's a registered dietitian. She should have some kind of stake in our wellness aside from how pleasant it feels to work with her.
As long as you are genuinely improving your physical, mental, and emotional health in ways that feel pleasant in your body, that is what's important.
She has built a huge audience and business off of satisfying people's cravings for being told what they want to hear.
Don't change a thing. You're perfect, unless you want to.
With junk food, we've found something called the bliss point, basically the recipe to making food products as rewarding as possible without overdoing it. It feels pleasant to consume it, and thus we want more of it. I see a similar formula in this type of content. It feels really good to have our ideas or beliefs validated, so good that we'll keep coming back and tuning in for more. And I don't care how nice she is. In my opinion, this is really mean. These TikToks of hers have since been deleted despite performing really well on her page. I can't say why, but I do have a few guesses, not nice ones. I have a lot more compassion for activists in this space who are legitimately struggling with their weight and their body image and who use fat acceptance as a way to comfort themselves. It's still not correct, but it's way more understandable than what she's doing, to me at least. Anyways, I would love to hear what you think about all of this, so let me know down below. Before you leave, give the video a like if you liked it and subscribe so we can keep having these conversations. Thank you to everyone who wished me well while I was sick. I really appreciate the support on here. I am working on a couple videos right now. One about glorifying obesity I've been working on for a while. I think it's going to turn into maybe a little mini series because I can't seem to condense my thoughts there. I will have another video out soon. Until then, everyone, please take care. Let me know how you've been doing down below, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.